And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Welcome. It's what I call downright cold. 28 outside at Key Field in Meridian. As we go northward, you're going to find some areas there throughout Kemper County that will reach 26. Now, as I got into Neshoba County, I've danced around and I saw some 27s. But Kemper County was holding the coldest that I saw this morning. Let's just pull this up. Let's just take a quick look together. Macomb showing 36. As we look here in Decatur this morning, we're looking at 28. We move into Bloomfield up in Neshoba County, 26 also. Let's see here. Kipling, 26 this morning. As we get further over here in McDonald, that's going to be 26 there. And further north, 27 in Philadelphia this morning as we see Noxapater. Y'all also sitting at 27. And we'll go over here somewhere around Bradley and these areas here around 25 there as we get into northern Winston County. So we have a cold morning. Now, what I'll tell you next is it's going to warm back up. Today, expect the high to be somewhere around 64, 65. As you move into tomorrow, we should see 70 by Saturday, 75, and by Sunday, we're going to be sitting somewhere close to 79, right at the 80-degree mark. Does this officially, Odie, mean the end of grass season with it hitting 25 last?
I think we're
You
good.
think that'll kill it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Lawnmower sales could take a dip, we think. Mark telling us Conahanna checking in this morning at 27. Good morning from Chunky. Susan, how are you feeling there? Renee? Jerome said, burr. It is. Have mercy, have mercy. I hope you're backed up to a heater. I got mine going, and it just doesn't feel like it's putting out enough. I like them. How do you feel this morning? Hopefully good. Hopefully, this is what I always hope for this time of year, to get through winter without getting a major cold. That is the worst thing. I mean, I've had other serious injuries, but a cold is downright awful. I do hope that you and yours do not get that this year. It just makes you kind of drag around and mope a lot. We know how that is. We'll be right back. Let's get a good word from First Baptist there in Collinsville. We'll be on the backside.
Every day that goes by gets us closer to the return of our Lord Jesus Christ. We probably don't think about that day near as much as we should, but when we do, isn't it exciting? Paul speaks to this in Romans chapter 13, verses 11 through 14. He says in verse 11, "And do this, understanding the present time. The hour has come for you to wake up from your slumber, because our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed." Paul is talking here about our glorification, that day when Jesus returns from heaven and receives all the saints of God to himself, and we finally realize the fullness of God's promise and salvation. We shouldn't be lazy when it comes to looking towards this day. We need to wake up and anticipate that day as if it would be today. It says in verse 12, "So let us put aside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light." We should be living in such a way that when he does come back, Jesus would find us living a life of godliness and holiness and not thinking about how we might gratify the desires of the sinful nature, as he says in verse 14. As believers, we may look towards the soon return of Jesus Christ in a way that demonstrates that we are expecting him and that we are ready and eager to go with him to that place he has prepared for us, his children. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This morning we'll have Chief Randall Davis dropping by. A lot going on in the town of Meridian. He's here to talk about this morning after 7. Hope you'll join us for that. Gene tells us 27 this morning in Rose Hill. Putting those thermometers in overtime, aren't they? Whew. Cold. This is the coldest day of the winter season or fall season, however you want it, that we've had so far. We'll take a look at your forecast coming up here in just a few moments. We'll get into details with that, let you know what is expected over the next few days. As we look at headlines that are shaping America this morning, we go to what is costing Americans the most. They're saying that, well, it could be adult children. Any of you have that problem? Saying they're having to dip into their savings to help their kids get by. Matter of fact, I ran into someone the other night that said they were having to make their kids' college loan $500 a month is what they were having to pay for their kids so they could get on their feet. It's tough. It's your kids, I get it. But nationally, they're saying that's one of the toughest burdens on them. As we go to Ohio, and this is a problem because we see this every day here in Mississippi, no matter where you live, they're looking at Ohio as an example on this of when you get into a fixed income. There's a lot more probably in Ohio than you realize of mobile home parks. You've bought your home and then your rent each month is steadily going up. And the bad part is people have been borrowing money from the government to buy these as a business to own these trailer parks. I guess is the best way to word that. In the past, where their notes had gone up maybe $10 a year, they're jumping 60 and 70, and the seniors are saying they can't afford it. They're having to take extra jobs to clean homes to get by. Are we headed toward a financial burden in the United States? It certainly looks like it from time to time. A loaf of bread and a dozen eggs has gotten out of hand. I don't know where it stops. Is it greed on the top end from the CEOs? What causes this? I'm no financial advisor, but I know that we can't keep paying millions upon millions and the average worker not get by. There is no such thing as working minimum wage and being able to support a family in any shape, form, or way. A car now, on average, what is it going to cost you? $70,000 when you get into a nice SUV? I mean, it's pretty common talk. My first home was $32,000. Now, we only had 960 square feet, but we bought within our means. Lord have mercy. It was perfect as newlyweds. Now I try to find a 960 square foot room to hide from her. Did I say that out loud? As we come along, a North Dakota woman is being accused of fatally poisoning her boyfriend for his inheritance. Now, I don't know where she thought she would get his money if she got it. If you're not married, you normally don't get it unless there's a will. I could be missing something on this, but he was worth millions, and, well, she took him out. We'll see how that works out for her. In Texas, this is a big deal. The Texas Rangers win the World Series. Have y'all seen this? Congratulations to them. I don't know as much about baseball. I've never been a baseball guy, but I know there's a lot of you who are. Texas Ranger win the World Series. Congratulations as they do that. 4-1. First time they've ever won that. So that's a big deal for them. Do y'all remember watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off? I think most of us did. What was the little guy's name that was his best friend that his daddy owned the
Corvette?
Yeah, the car that they rode around in. I can't think of it. His real name is Alan Ruck, and I can't remember what he played in, what his name was. It's been so many years since I've seen it. But he was involved in an accident at a red light. Los Angeles is where it all happened. A 4-car pileup. He's going to be all right. And then the last car ran into a pizza shop. He's making headlines. They spelled his name right. Odie Cameron? That was his name? Cameron. Yeah. Mark got it about the same time you did. I haven't watched it in so many years. It'd probably be fun to go back and watch. The funny part was that guy that was going to park the car with the long hair driving through town. Let's see here. Do y'all remember, this was probably a year, 2 years ago, to where all of these famous homes were getting broken into in Los Angeles. Famous singers, major amounts of cash and things being stolen. Usher was one of them. A guy named Adam Lambert. Some of the big L.A. homes. Well, they've caught the mastermind behind it. He was just a middle-class kind of guy hiring people to steal for him. 31 years in prison, off he goes. He has been convicted. I didn't get deep enough into the article to figure out how they tied him to it. Somebody squealed is what it amounts to.
There's a documentary about teenagers doing that.
Documentary about teenagers doing it? I can see that. Well, and the thing, if you will notice crime-wise, even right here, a large portion of our crime is going to be done by someone under the age of 18. That is solely because the gangs or whoever they're working for or associated with know that if they break the law below the age of 18, when they turn 18, everything is dropped. So they get the younger generation to do the dirty deeds, so to speak. That's a thing happening across America. How do we correct it? I don't know. I won't give my advice on that at this moment. I'll hold on to it, but y'all probably know where I'm going on that. 20 Republicans have joined, and I'd have to dig deeper to find each and every one of them's names as we get this to kill the censor resolution against, and I can never pronounce her name correctly, Rashada Tlaib. She's a congresswoman who is Palestinian, so to speak, or she is for Hamas. 20 Republicans crossed that line. I think we should all know their names. I will look that up and we'll report that back. Our country is being run by those who don't seem to be American anymore, who have other countries' beliefs. What happened? Somewhere, that state voted them in. Wake up, America. I think, isn't that what Earl Pitts used to say? Wake up, America.
Wake up, America.
Yeah, I'm with you, Earl Pitts. Let's see. Well, it's just being stupid there. We won't even go to that one. We see that Bob Knight is dead. He was an Olympic gold medalist, basketball coach, and more. He's passed away at the age of 83. Condolences to his family members as we look at this. One of the 5 cops, do y'all remember the gentleman in Memphis that was supposedly beaten by cops who passed away? One of the cops is going to change his plea once inside the courtroom. They all pled not guilty in the beginning. One will change his plea as we wait to see what happens in a courtroom over that. Not long off from learning all of that. Let's see what else we've got shaking this morning. This is one of those, I respect law enforcement on many, many levels of what they have to do. One of those stories we're going to share with you on a local level this morning at 7. It's disgusting. I don't know any other way to word it, and we're going to talk about that. But as I go to a headline here that happened in Chicago. A man shot his girlfriend 10 times and went on the run. Police pull him over. He unloads clip after clip after clip after him. That all kind of ended when the next state trooper pulled up and took him out with a car. I think that was a easy way out for this killer, to say the least. But think about that. Your job, you go into an office, you sit down, and usually the worst thing that's going to happen is a pencil or a paper cut. These guys get out and they get all kinds of things. Slurs, ugly words said to them, and then they get shot at. All for a mediocre salary. I respect you. God bless you. It goes for our firefighters and everybody else that deal with sometimes people that, is the word that I'm saying, not in their best, I want to say behavior, train of thought, mindset. Maybe they don't have one at all. What's that old term? 92? I'll leave it at that. This has happened, and I'm sure because I see things said about me constantly. An HBO staffer is accusing the CEO of making him sign on and come up with a bunch of fake names to run other people down. It's a lawsuit going on, but I do see things said about me, and it's okay. Write all you want, just spell it right. Scottyray. It's going to be okay. Thank y'all. Appreciate the heads up. It happens. The bigger you get, your competition usually gets worse, as we'll put it at that. We all know how that works there. Lori, do you remember her that was in Full House? Lori, and I'm going to say her name wrong. Lori Laughlin, is that how you say that, Odie? Yeah. Y'all remember her? She was the pretty wife of the guy on there named Jesse. Well, her and her daughter now, after that big scandal of her paying off, and this is where it really irks me, just because, is that a word I can use, irks?
That was Zach's girlfriend.
Zach's girlfriend, the long-haired one that was his name, Zach?
Yeah, no.
Do you remember the one that played the guitar, was in the band? Wasn't his name Jesse?
His was, but that wasn't his girlfriend.
That was his wife. No. That was her. That was his wife. You remember her? She married him, had the little twins and all. Odie done.
You're talking about in real life.
No, I'm talking about on the TV show. Oh. Odie done gone to arguing with me. Let me pull this picture up. Wasn't she the Jesse's girlfriend? Well, if you remember, what irks me, if I can use that right, she was one of the ones that paid a college to let her child in. Uh-huh. Now, what happens with that is figures are changed so that somebody can get in, and you've got someone who doesn't have all of that money who would have gotten to go to college and was turned away because their test scores no longer mattered. What happened to their life because they didn't get to go there and get that opportunity? That's not right. But anyway, I think she says, "You boy, Jesse's wife, Lori." Yeah, I'm right.
Dang.
Odie having to back up and go stand in the corner over here.
Got my dunce hat on.
If I'd have had my camera, I'd have turned it on you over there. But she's back after doing all that. She served her, week or 2 weeks? I don't know what she spent in jail. She went to jail for a little while. But her and her daughter now, as we pull this up, are going to be shoe salesmen. Well, they're shoe spokespeople. There they are. And they do look alike. They're saying just how much those two look alike. Mom's 59. The daughter is just barely in college. They do look a lot alike. But again, back on my soapbox of because you're privileged, you should not take away from those who earned it honestly. Oh, that's my thoughts on that. I could be wrong. Somebody's going to write another email about me. We'll be right back with the forecast. Y'all don't go anywhere. It's just getting started as we warm up for another big day here at the Scotty Ray Report. We'll be right back. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Have you seen the selection of cars and trucks at Massey's Supermart Auto Sales lately? How about a Grand Cherokee Jeep 4x4 Limited? They've got that in white and also gray. They have a like-new 2021 Wrangler Unlimited 4x4. Or maybe your family needs room. Have you checked out the Ford Expedition lately? 1023 Highway 39 Bypass, Massey's Supermart Auto Sales.
The low profit dealer, Massey's Supermart.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Welcome back. As we get into our forecast now, they're still saying you're wrong, Odie. I'm not letting this drop. As we get into our record highs and record lows this morning, we do see that back in 16 we had a warm day. It was 86. Back to 1966, when I wasn't even thought of, it was 22 degrees on this date. 6 degrees cooler than it is now. Brr. As we look at today's high, now we're going to get to about 63. That's a long way from 28 degrees. That is where we're headed. That's where you will get sick. I don't care what the doctor tells you. That many degrees difference, you get sick. As we go to Columbus, 61 today. Back over near the Mississippi River, we'll see somewhere between 64 to 65 all the way down to Port Gibson in those areas. Hattiesburg, 64. As we go east to see our friends over at Alabama. How are y'all doing there at Birmingham and Tuscaloosa this morning? About 64 in Tuscaloosa. Over to Auburn, 61. Did they beat Alabama this year, Odie?
They hadn't played.
Oh, they haven't played yet. Boy, I'm telling you, I'm sitting with some football experts in the studio this morning. They know these things. We have a freeze this morning. You'll look at this. It goes all the way to Shibuya this morning. A steady, cold front there is what they put out from the National Weather Service late last night. As we move up through this goes northward all the way to the state line, or area 2 below Shibuya there throughout the state of Mississippi. It's cold, is what I'll tell you. Now, wildfire conditions have not changed as we look at this. We're at a level 2 of this, and we had a nasty wildfire yesterday. We'll talk about that this morning and show you some video from what happened in Kemper County. Be cautious of what you're burning. Freezing temps across Bama as well as we look at this from the National Weather Service. As we glance across what's going to be happening over the next 6 to 10 days. Although it's cold now, be ready. Old man winter is fading away for a few days as we see the warmer temperatures move into Louisiana, Mississippi, and across Georgia and the Carolinas. This is what we get. 63 today, down to 31 below the freezing mark tonight, but moving up to somewhere between 68 to 69 tomorrow. Down to only 38 tomorrow night. But look at the weekend, how things will change. We're up to 73 on Saturday. A little fog there, 76 by Sunday. Monday, we're back to nearly 80, 77, 79 along in there. Now let's go another week into this and see what happens. Whoop. Somewhere around the 10th or the 11th, we'll drop back into the 60s, but not really cold. But what is that I see? A 40% chance of showers? Oh, we even get up to a 54% there on the 12th. don't hold your breath, is all I can say. It's Mother Nature. It can change in the blink of an eye. That's all the way through the 16th of November of what we're watching with the weather. Now, the National Hurricane Center, as this threat starts to go away, this is down to a 30% chance of becoming something here. We'll watch this as we officially move into tornado season here in November. We have no rain forecasted yet, but should it turn ugly, we'll be here to watch it for you. As we look at the fishing forecast today, somewhere right around lunchtime today, close to 1 o'clock, be there about 12:30. Get your sandwich ready and sit down on the creek bank, wherever you're fishing. Be ready to stay there till about 3 o'clock this afternoon. It should be good. The wind's going to be light and variable, becoming east 5 to 10. We're not going to have the gusts that we had yesterday, but a steady wind, and that will also affect deer hunting. As we look at our best times, 11:50 is the time to be in the woods up against a tree, so let's get there 11:30, and you can fish, hunt rather, till 1 o'clock there. Now, again, we'll have a second major time this afternoon at 4 o'clock until dark. So if you're going to be up a tree hunting this afternoon, late would be the best time that I'd suggest. As soon as you can get off from work, run to the bushes. Climb a tree, and maybe it'll be your day. Let's go back to radar. Let me look at this real quick before we cut and get ready for the morning show. Let's come back over and take a look at these temperatures of what we've got. As we pull this up, this is the cold weather that we're looking at this morning on Meridian Honda radar. As we mentioned, right along in here was the line that the National Weather Service was putting that it should be colder. Let's look at a few temperatures here. 28 Summerall, 28 Shibuya. Yeah, they missed that, didn't they, Odie?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, they're resharpening their pencils over there at the National Weather Service. Let's get down into Wayne County. Waynesboro, 26. Yep, I'm going to put that as the same as the Meridian area as I look at that. I knew something didn't look right. Somebody overslept over the National Weather Service. Didn't update that this morning. Because if you live in Shibuya, 28 is 28. I'm sorry. Cold, cold, cold is what we've got. Again, we've got so much going on this morning. We do want you to be a part of it. We'll have Chief Randall Davis all the way from Meridian, Mississippi, coming in this morning to talk with us. And big town of Meridian. I'm telling you, there's lots going on there. Maybe a new bridge one day. I bet everybody's been yelling at you over that.
A question about that, too.
Yeah, you're prepared for the bridge?
Yep, absolutely.
You have to go around BWI to get anywhere in Meridian right now. Hot dog stands are going up everywhere back there. We'll find out all of that more and why he's here this morning. We'll go over the headlines that have shaped our community over the last 24 hours as well. Don't miss out. You won't hear it anywhere else. You won't see it the way that you will hear it here. It's all coming up beginning at 7 with Scotty Ray and Odie, only here at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.